choppy, bud.
All right, today I'm out on the windy and choppy waters of Lake Granby in Colorado, surrounded by somewhat snow-capped mountains. I got Rocky Mountain National Park just behind you, and where I'm headed is through the outlet of the Colorado River into Lake Granby. Hope to be out here catching some trout and just enjoying this amazing scenery on this really big lake. It has been quite a while since I've been in the water. I think literally since my Northern Lights canoe camping trip to Manitoba. It's going to be a clear, moonless night tonight, and I've got beautiful scenery in every direction from which to enjoy the skies. I guess I'm just going to surf there because the waves are just pushing me.
Something I like to do during the summer and fall for this channel is explore something new, but deliberately with not any idea what the purpose of the video might become. It wasn't until after 2 nights on Lake Granby that I knew what story this lake and its surroundings would tell. Or really, 3 short stories with a common antagonist. I knew the East Troublesome fire burned near the lake. What I hadn't realized was that so much of the burn was visible right from the lake, giving a truly heartbreaking panoramic view of miles and miles of devastated forest. 180,000 acres is a meaninglessly large number until you see what that means with your own eyes. But the monster partly responsible for this fire has 3 heads. One of them breathes fire.
Coming up on the Colorado Inlet here and ready to search for a campsite before heading back out on the water and fishing. This is pretty incredible. Fortunately, there's not that much flat ground, and it appears that the little I'm seeing right now is already occupied, but I'm sure that's going to change here in a minute. Well, it looks like I found a camping location that I like, but I'm just going to leave my stuff here and get back out on the water and do a little bit of fishing, see if I can catch something for dinner. I'm up the Colorado River a little ways, up almost to the Colorado River, I should say. That side is Rocky Mountain National Park, and over on this side is National Forest Land. We've got the inlet to Granby Lake, and hopefully there's some good fish to be had right here. I think I'll wait to set up my tent. I want to see if I can't score dinner first. Pretty epic out here. Love this. You're here in the stream. Little rapids or waterfalls right here. Cast it out, try to catch fish. Well, I finally just had a fish on and he let go. I'm gonna try and actually record it this time. He let go because I stopped to start the camera. That's happened a few times. Kid you not, there is a bald eagle at my campsite. I'm gonna have to get a better look at him here later. Wow. He doesn't seem to care much about me. There are now 2 bald eagles at my campsite. Is he still over there, or did he leave? Maybe it was the same one, he just tricked me. Oh, this is sweet. Check out my big old rock here. A nice table, and there's a grand fire pit with stadium seating included. I'm not sure which one I want to make my fire in. And this would work pretty good too. And I think this will make a good tenting spot. It's nice and flat. This rolls downhill pretty steep. It's probably pretty hard to tell. But home. So I was able to just get the 1 fish on the line, and that was it. So I'll try again here in a few minutes. I'm gonna get dressed, get some firewood. We'll see how this goes. A lot of wood around here. The only problem is that it's all huge. Logs, 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 logs.
Lake Granby is the second closest reservoir to the headwaters of the Colorado River and Colorado's fourth largest lake. And great things have humble beginnings. The Colorado is one of the most important and well-known rivers in the world, with abundant recreation, tourism, desert habitat, and desert-dwelling humans far to my west. But the Colorado hasn't been flowing at its optimal might for years. Decades of repeated drought have dried up the reservoirs from beginning to end. And as I'm saying this, many are beating all-time record low water levels. Granby is down 16 feet from full while I paid this visit. The second head on this Cerberus is drought.
Hey, let's do a little fishing. It's a lovely morning. About 8:30. I got up about an hour ago. I slept horribly. My Thermarest sleep pad leaked all its air out immediately after I aired it up. I tried airing it up a couple of times and then gave up. That was the end of that. I do know there was a little hole in it, and I attempted to patch it up. It wasn't a good enough patch. So now I'm stuck without a soft bed. So it's gonna be a weekend of wrecked back and paddling. But hopefully I can save this by catching myself a trout. I'm basically gonna say, you know what, if I don't catch a trout by 3 o'clock this afternoon, I'm just gonna head on home. So I don't have enough food, honestly. I would just be here being miserable, running out of food, with bad sleep. Just wouldn't be very fun. It's the first kayak trip I've done in almost 2 years. You know, just because of how things have played out. And partly I didn't know where to go. And I knew all the places that I wanted to try out were closed. Anything in Canada to any U.S. citizen for that matter. Well, it took me a hot minute, but I finally caught me a rainbow. It's a pretty fish, but oh man, I can't even show it to you. Got it all dirty. My first ever rainbow trout. I think I'm gonna try and get one more in this spot and see if I can make a decent meal out of this. Nice. Part of the whole spiel here is unsnagging yourself every time that happens. A little bit of a Pyrrhic victory. Both times that I've gotten hits have been on these pink spinners, spoons, and both times I have then subsequently snagged them on something. I don't know if I'm going to be able to retrieve this one. I definitely lost the other one. Finally, saved it. So I'll just fish this inlet a little longer, and then I'll start trolling back to my campsite. Of course, a fish would jump right there. And there. I got one. It must be feeding time right now. Hold down, settle down. I wish I had a fishing well. All right, since they seem to be hot right now, I'll go for a third. Bag limit is 4 for the day. Get them while they're hot. Another snag. Oh boy. I guess 1 snag per fish is the ratio. This lure lives to see another day. I was watching, observing him. He's just playing with it. Like he was waiting for it to stop for a second. So maybe I need to do different actions. Oh, she's a beaut. Oh yeah, biggest rainbow yet. Look at that. There we go. I'll save one more for tonight if I can catch one. But that is a beautiful fish. That's it for now. We'll get them cooked up. All right, there's today's haul. Looks like not 3 rainbows, but either a Laker or a brown and 2 rainbows. I'm thinking that's a Laker.
Turns out that's a kokanee or sockeye salmon.
I'll confirm later. All right, so I got my little shake and bake bag where I'm gonna stick my fillets. Some shore lunch, Cajun style. Here are the fishies. I got a little table here to lay them up on. Set you guys over here for now. I'll just sit here in the shade and eat. Done all the way through. Oh, they sure are, bud. Oh my gosh. I'm so starving right now. Cleaned right down to the bone. Yeah, that's really the way to do it with these smaller fish. Just gut them and throw them in the pan. I'm not a huge fan of eating the skin. I ate about half of it, but you know, whatever. I've got 2 more fillets on the grill. Eat those up and I'll be a happy, full-tummied boy. Well, that's how the Laker turned out, so kind of a fail all the way around. We won't be cooking them that way. No filleting next time.
The amount of dead forest in Colorado alone due to spruce and lodgepole pine beetle kill is staggering. 5 million acres. Or put another way, if this were a U.S. state, it would be the size of New Jersey. And the beetles are still killing. The third head of this hellhound unleashes pestilence at a grand scale. Trees are largely made up of carbon extracted from the atmosphere. When these dead trees are left to rot or are burned, much of that carbon goes right back into the atmosphere.
quick view of the little lake, or, well, the inlet to the Colorado River. Nice spot over there. Some big rocks. I've been told that walking in nature in your bare feet has a sort of therapeutic thing to it. Well, on the one hand, it does feel quite good. You have the ground and the rocks and the grass on your feet. It's a different story when there's also snakes and pricklies and the occasional cactus. So you just have to be extra careful. It's really pretty right here. There's a lot of different kinds of wildflowers growing in this spot. I think at one point the water level came pretty close to here, so there was a lot of plant food planted here by this stream and this reservoir. This area right here flash floods on occasion. Probably even did this year. The depressions, the exposed rocks, leads me to believe that this whole area was probably underwater from this stream. The other clue? Uprooted and very old dead trees that they don't have their little limbs on them. You know, kind of like over here. Oh, you know, they're standing dead. They've got all these limbs on them. They've been stripped off because they've been flowing down a river, bouncing off rocks and riverbanks, and get worn down into just the largest piece. And then they get stuck somewhere, and in this case, they got stuck here. Ah! Keep getting bites. Oh, there we go. Ah. Either I'm too excited or they are. Probably both. Unbelievable. I wonder if that one got on camera. That would have been fantastic. That was a nice leap. Well, I've had myself a really great time here on Lake Granby. I'm tired, and I'm filthy, and I'm hungry. Everything a good solo camping trip should be. This won't be my only stop on the Colorado River. In fact, very soon, you're going to see me on a very different section of the Colorado River. My favorite part about this trip was definitely catching those fish. My least favorite is the fact that Saturdays appear to be quite the party here for a few hours in the afternoon, which it's not that big a deal, but I was kind of stuck, bored, not sure what to do with myself for a few hours while it was too hot to take a nap and too busy to have much fun on the water. Although I had it in my mind to just commandeer one of the boats and just start partying with them. Maybe I should have done that. I always like to sit and reflect on all the things that I didn't do right, like forgetting a plate to eat on. Let's see what else. I forgot to use my lemon for the fish. Brought that along and didn't use it. I did a repair to my sleeping pad before I came out, but it wasn't good enough. And perhaps a little extra food would have come in handy. Oh, and I forgot my hat. Actually, I didn't forget my hat. It's in my brother's car. My two brothers and I were out storm chasing here a couple of weeks ago, and I accidentally left it in his truck. No hat for me. I may have to just pick another one up soon. And camp soap. It's quite a challenge to remove cooking oil from a pan when you don't have some sort of camp soap or dish soap to knock down that grease. So I'll have to remember that. That wasn't pleasant.
This three-headed dog of Hades has a tail of a snake. After the forest is dried and warmed, the beetles are able to flourish at higher altitudes. With so much standing dry tinder, wildfires grow uncontrollably in just minutes. 2020 alone saw Colorado's largest ever wildfire, only to have that record overturned again by a different wildfire just weeks later. The tail of a snake when the rains return, there is no longer vegetation to hold back the rock and soil, and the consequences have shut down one of the most important expressways in the western United States for many weeks, causing hours-long diversions of local, commercial, and recreational traffic and rail. This three-headed devil dog is just one of many monsters unleashed by climate change. And right now, it's going uncontested in the American West. It isn't a future problem, it's a now problem. And you can see the battle scars on Lake Granby, Colorado. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. See you next time. No, I'm not going to steal that from Cody's lab. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you out there.